My God, I hate drugs.
Two senators agree they do not have enough evidence to pin down Philippine National Police Chief Oscar Albayalde for the irregular multi-million Pampanga drug bust in 2013. Now, they want the police officer who led the operation to cooperate in the probe. Joyce Ilas tells us more.
You dropped the ball. You dropped the ball. From the very beginning, you dropped the ball.
I'm willing to be subjected to investigation, Your Honor. No, kung hindi pa po kontento dun sa sinabi ni General Gairlan.
On Thursday, several resource persons debunked the claims of Pampanga police officials involved in a questionable multi-million peso drug bust in 2013. A former police regional director, a barangay official, and 3 other cops all agree the so-called ninja cops are lying. But through it all, their boss, former Pampanga police director and now PNP chief Oscar Albayalde, stood by his men and their problematic story.
I was very disappointed. I told him he was my friend, but you dropped the ball here big time, and that you should have investigated yourself kung talagang mali yung ginawa nila.
Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Richard Gordon believes Albayalde should be held accountable for negligence and possibly more. Former Central Luzon Police Regional Director Aaron Aquino earlier admitted that Albayalde called him in 2016 to ask him not to implement the dismissal order against the 13 Pampanga cops.
You can be negligent in the beginning, but you can be participant later on. It can be seen that he was trying to protect his people in a very unjust manner.
For Senator Ping Lacson, doubt has started to set in on Albayalde's integrity. Lacson explains the call made to Aquino as rectified was an apparent cover-up attempt. But both Lacson and Gordon agree there is no enough evidence to hold Albayalde liable, criminally or administratively. A possible solution, make the leader of the Pampanga drug bust cooperate.
That is the crucial thing about Baloyo. He should say kung pinagtatakpan siya, because if Albayalde went to Aquino, ano ba naman yung kay talagang malaki lang siguro talaga utang na loob ni Baloyo kay Albayalde. I think we all have a pretty good idea, kaya lang short of evidence. Hindi ko makuha yung gusto kong makuha, no? And it's not what I want, it's what is presented before us that matters. No?
The Philippine National Police has promised senators to reinvestigate the controversial Pampanga drug bust. Gordon believes the investigation should cover Albayalde. It is possible administrative and even criminal liabilities. Joyce Ilas, CNN Philippines.
General Albayalde tells CNN Philippines he sees politics behind issues raised against him. He says attempts to tarnish his reputation may have something to do with his replacement. Albayalde is set to retire next month. This is Newsroom Weekend on CNN Philippines. Going back to today's biggest stories, the MMDA plans to allow certain buses to operate from Santolan in Marikina to Cubao in Quezon City. This as LRT2 operations from Santolan to Recto will remain suspended for up to 9 months. Authorities confirm 3 more cases of meningococcemia at the San Lazaro Hospital, this following the death of a 4-month-old baby yesterday due to the disease, bringing the death toll to 4. And the entertainment industry mourns the passing of 2 pillars, theater icon Tony Mabesa and veteran actress Amalia Fuentes. Momoland's Nancy McDonough is teaming up with our very own James Reid, and netizens are going crazy. Details next. Stay with CNN Philippines. And here's a treat for Filipino K-pop fans. Nancy McDonough of Korean girl group sensation Momoland is teaming up with our very own James Reid. Netizens were pleasantly surprised yesterday when news broke out that James and Nancy will star in local TV series Soulmate. The 2 actors met with director Antoinette Hadaune and ABS-CBN's Big Bosses yesterday for the Project Story Conference. Dreamscape Entertainment will produce the teleserye. Momoland is currently in town for the Good Friends in Manila concert happening today at the Araneta Coliseum. The girl group debuted in 2016 and skyrocketed to stardom for its singles Boom Boom and Bam. The Metro Manila Development Authority is looking to grant a special franchise for bus companies to run trips from Santolan in Marikina to Cubao in Quezon City. This as the Light Rail Transit Line 2 will suspend operations from Santolan to Anonas stations for up to 9 months. Our Rex Remitio is in a forum in Antipolo City. Rex, tell us more about this special franchise for bus companies.
An MMDA official says this is their way of helping the affected LRT2 passengers. They're the ones who will be unable to take the train from Santolan Station in Marikina to Anona Station in Quezon City. The LRT2 has suspended operations on those stations to repair damaged tracks. MMDA Deputy Chair Frisco San Juan says they're already coordinating with bus companies and transport regulators like the LTFRB to implement the plan. MMDA Traffic Chief Bong Nebrija earlier advised commuters to plan their travel time. He said a lot of affected LRT2 passengers will take Aurora Boulevard. Former MMDA Chair and Marikina Representative Bayani Fernando meanwhile has another tip. He says authorities could transfer Colorum buses to serve the Marikina to Cubao route instead. Fernando explains that the government must find a solution on this problem before it's too late. Back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Rex Remitio there reporting to us live from Antipolo City. Now on Friday, we saw hundreds of passengers stranded and traffic remained at a snail's pace on Marcos Highway. Many passengers were forced to be late for work. Some students skipped classes. Passengers complained about the lack of additional public transportation, but officials clarify they were able to deploy additional buses with 2 from the MMDA that offered free rides. The LRT management says they might resume partial operations from Cubao to Recto stations by Monday or Tuesday. But the remaining stations of Katipunan and Santolan will be closed for at least 9 months.
Late po. Late po kasi banda po sa may Aurora, late na po kami na traffic po dun banda. Sana po maayos po agad yun sa LRT kasi yun lang po yung way para mabilis po yung daan. Na mga lalo na po yung mga taga Manila na estudyante.
Malaki po yung inconvenience kasi po ito po yung ginagamit ko na parang dito po ako sumasakay para makapunta po sa school since yun po yung malapit sa school ko rin po.
Doon ikot na lang po kami doon sa may Bagong Bayan, Libis. Umaga pong naligo.
Bakit?
Para hindi po malate. Kasi kakaltas po kasi sa sahod kapag ka malate po eh.
Dapat may dito ng yung katulad sa yung mga P2P bus. Kasi kawawa yung mga mananakay ng LRT. Yung anak ko nga hindi nakapasok kasi ang hirap sumakay daw kanina.
We are still working on, double time, 24 hours to bring it back earlier. Sana naka-input na doon yung procurement process natin, though we will be doing some emergency procurement under the law. But yung delivery ng ating mga necessary parts, that would take some time.
A sad weekend for the entertainment industry with the passing of 2 veteran artists. Local theater pillar Tony Mabesa died last night. He was 84. Mabesa founded Dulaang UP. He was also one of the most respected actors and directors in the movie industry. He recently starred in the family drama Rainbow Sunset, where he won Best Supporting Actor at the MMFF Awards. Award-winning actress Amalia Fuentes also passed away early this morning. She was 79. Known as the Elizabeth Taylor of the Philippines, Fuentes starred in numerous films since the 1950s. She appeared in movies with fellow veterans including Eddie Gutierrez, Susan Roses, and the late Fernando Poe Jr. She also worked with the Movie and Television Review and Classification Board. Fuentes is the mother of the late Lizel Martinez and the aunt of veteran actors Aga and Nino Mulak. We now talk to Amalia Fuentes' colleague, Gabby Concepcion. He starred with the late actress in movies like Asawa Ko, Huwag Mong Agawin, and My Only Love. Good afternoon, Gabby, and thanks for taking our call.
Good afternoon, everybody. and you're welcome. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here in CNN guesting.
Yeah, first, Gabby, we would like to extend our condolences. How was it like working with Miss Amalia Fuentes? I know you've worked with her in several movies. What was your experience and memories of her?
Yes, first of all, I'd like to send my condolences to the family, the Mulak family. Yeah, I worked with Tita Amalia. We call her Tita Amalia in the 80s. And she is truly an icon, and I did consider her also as the Elizabeth Taylor of the Philippines. She's definitely iconic, and she is a pillar of our industry. To me, she's a diamond of our industry, a great loss. We did work together in these two projects, My Only Love and Asawa Ko Huwag Mong Agawin with Kilma Santos.
In those last two movies that you worked with her, how was she like as a coworker, as a colleague?
Yes, because I think the last movie she did was in somewhere in 2000 something, 2008 or something like that. But I wasn't here, and she stopped doing movies after that. And I remember her very vividly. Our conversations were very memorable. And she would always tell me that when she would give me advice, she'd tell me not to dwell on intrigues, not to think about it, because there will always be that. And don't take it personally. Let it pass. And the industry just, it's very forgiving. And concentrate with work, do the best you can while you're there, and don't let that bother you.
Yeah, she is indeed a veteran in the industry. If there's anything that maybe your best memory of the actress, what do you think would it be?
It would definitely be on the set, because that's where we would normally see each other. The scenes that we had were very brief, because she was at that time, that movie, My Only Love, she was the mother of Sharon. And Asawa Ko Huwag Mong Agawin, she was the doctor of Vilma. And during those times, she would treat me like her son. We would talk, and she'd give me really good advice from a veteran like her. I really took that in seriously. And she was one of the people that made me feel better in the industry. Like I said, in terms of hearing intrigues, reading articles that are negative, don't let that affect you, because it's passing.
Right.
And that's not going to bother. You're a good person. You know that. We know that. We do our job, and they're doing their job. But sometimes there's just a lot of intrigue and a lot of just, it's all made up. And that's when I realized, I was young, and I realized that there's a lot of that in the industry, a lot of stories that are not true, and you know that. You know that. So
definitely a good advice coming from someone who's been in the industry for a while. And lastly, Gabby, if there was that, quality of an actress that stands out in Amalia Fuentes, what do you think would that be?
Oh, she's very regal. Talent you can, you can learn. Skills you can learn. But character, it's something, you either have it or you don't. And Amalia had the charisma. She had that too. That's something that's hard to acquire. It's either you have it or you don't. And that's the reason why she's there, and that's the reason why she lasted in the industry, and that's why people respect her in the industry.
True, very true. Well, thank you so much, and our condolences goes to you, Gabby Concepcion. Thank you, colleague of the late Amalia Fuentes. Thank you for speaking to us.
Yes, condolence again to the family. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, a touching video showing the late Amalia Fuentes' grandchild serenading her while she was still alive is up on Facebook. The actress's nephew, Nino Mulak, posted today a video of his son Alonzo singing to his grandmother. Take a look.
'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what a vision of the one I see. A million dreams, it's all it's gonna take. For a million dreams, for the world we're gonna make.
The health department confirms a fourth fatality due to meningococcemia. DOH Calabarzon Regional Director Eduardo Janairo confirms a 4-month-old baby boy died yesterday due to the disease. He was first admitted at the ospital ng Nasugbu in Batangas on Thursday and transferred on the same day to San Lazaro Hospital in Manila, where he died. Meanwhile, San Lazaro Hospital confirms 3 other cases of meningococcemia. Hospital spokesperson Dr. Ferdinand de Guzman says the 3 patients are in isolation to prevent the bacterial infection from spreading. Meningococcemia is caused by bacteria that enters the bloodstream and causes organs to bleed. Symptoms include rashes and bleeding spots, which may indicate internal bleeding.